Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here, and welcome back to a new YouTube video on the channel. And today, guys, I'm going to be going through the opening round AFL 2024 preview. Of course, the round previews are returning for 2024. So in today's video, it's going to be running through the 4 games super quickly, just going over a preview of each one, and pretty much just extending a detailed opinion on these games that covers it a little bit better than tipping. But anyway, though, these teams have all played preseason games. And there were a few teams which played pretty well, a few which didn't quite play as well. And I'll probably just recap their preseason games while going through each game. But of course, starting off with the season opener, the Swans and the Demons. And a few weeks ago, this one looked like it was going to be maybe a bit more one-sided. But the preseason's almost said otherwise. And Melbourne, their unofficial hit out against Richmond was not great. Meanwhile, Sydney's unofficial one against the Giants was awesome. And then their official hit out against the Lions wasn't too great. And Melbourne's against Carlton was awesome. So this game is really even at the moment. It's about as even as you're going to get, really. It's 50-50, and this is going to be a cracking game. Now, both these two sides, I feel like, do have quite a range of different ladder positions they can finish in this year. But I do think the Swans are just the better side at the SCG. I think they have got the home ground advantage. Well, they do have the home ground advantage. I think they're just going to play that a little bit better, but their record against top 8 sides last year didn't suggest that. So this one is really probably the biggest unknown in my opinion. I think this one could really, really go anyway. I do think the Swans will win by 7 points though, but this one's going to be a great new season opener. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Friday night, Brisbane and Carlton at the Gabba. I think this is probably the easiest game to tip out of all 4. The Blues in their pre-season game against Geelong and Melbourne were pretty unconvincing in both of them, really. And I think that's because Jacob Wiedering is out, and he's a huge out for them. And the main reason why their back line is so strong. And if a few things go wrong for Carlton throughout the year, they might not finish as well as what they did last year. Came home with a surge last year and struggled at the start of the year. So this game is probably a game which they will drop, but they've really got to start well, the Blues. And if they don't start well, I think that's going to put them right behind everyone else, and it's going to make things tough. Especially if they lose a couple games that they probably should win in the opening few rounds. If they do drop them, they are in real trouble this season. And for the Lions, they're going into the season probably premiership favourites, if not second premiership favourites for sure. But in my opinion, they're the premiership favourite. For mine, I think they're going to win this game, and I think they're going to start off really well and beat Carlton comfortably by 33 points. Now onto Gold Coast and Richmond, the first of 2 games on Saturday, and this one at Heritage Bank Stadium. Gold Coast, they can bank 2 wins to start the year. They've got the Tigers at Heritage Bank Stadium this weekend, and in round 1 they've got the Crows there. They can win both those games, and they should win both those games, I think, as well. The Crows one is a 50-50, this one's a 50-50 as well, but if they can start 2-0, the Gold Coast Suns, there's going to be a lot of hype around them. But if they start 0-2, it looks like could be another same story that we've seen for the past few years with the Suns, just being inconsistent and not being able to deliver when they have to. Getting off to a good start is what matters in the footy, and I do know that you can come back and bounce back later on in the year, but the way that you can really set yourself up for a good season is by starting well. And yes, 3 teams did bounce back well last year, Carlton, the Giants and the Swans, after having poor starts. But you don't want to have to win 9 out of your last 10 to make finals. You got to start well. And if the Suns can bank these 2 early wins, I think they can genuinely make the finals. If they go 0-2, though, there'll be a problem. The Tigers, on the other hand, it's going to be a bit of a question year for them as well. Where do they sit? What can Adam Uze do with the team? That they are a interesting side to look at this year, Richmond. I think the Suns will win this game. I think they'll win by 23 points. I think it'll be a great game all afternoon, but I do think the Suns do know the conditions a bit better, and I do think they'll run away in the end. And the Giants and the Pies, the final game, and this one is going to be another cracker. Preliminary final rematch of last year, just like the Lions and the Blues at Giants Stadium this time. And look, this is going to be a great game. This is 2 definitely sides can finish in the top 4 going head-to-head this year. The Giants, I think their ceiling is really high. I genuinely do think the Giants have got a lot to work with this year. I think they can definitely make the top 4 and even be a real premiership contender. They're just so stacked all over the ground. Their forward line is a little area of concern, but if you've got Daniels and if you've got Green and those kind of guys running around in there, I do think they can be very dangerous. And Toby Green, if he has a huge season like last year, he can genuinely be one of the people to take them all the way. And the Pies, well, of course, they're in a good position to go back-to-back as well. They've just got so much experience and so many good players all over the field. Nick Dacos, going into the year being one of the Brownlow favourites, I think that he can genuinely win it this year. This is going to be a good one. I think the Giants will hold on for a 4-point win, but Collingwood do know how to win those close games, so don't be surprised if it is another close Collingwood victory. But I think the Giants will finally pip them in a close win and get the job done. So that's opening round. The Swans by 7, Blues, Lions by 33, Gold Coast by 23, and the Giants by 4 on my tips. All the home sides this round. The Crows, Bombers, Dockers, Cats, Hawks, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, St Kilda, West Coast, and the Dogs all having their byes. The first 7 rounds are going to be a little bit different, but just a little look ahead to round 1 where some sides do play their first game. Carlton and Richmond in the official full 9-game season open. The Pies and Swans on the Friday night. Essendon and Hawthorn, I think that is going to be a big game. Explain more on that next week. Giants and North Melbourne, Geelong and St Kilda, Gold Coast and Adelaide, Melbourne and the Dogs, Port Adelaide and West Coast, and Fremantle and Brisbane. Quite a few good games in there, but it's definitely important that you get off to a good start, and it'll be interesting to see how this opening round works and how what everyone thinks. So I think it's a pretty good initiative, and do think that it can work to try and boost the game in the northern states. But anyway, though, feel free to let me know your tips for the round. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you guys and then miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much. Bye everyone. Flame Footy out.